G'day everyone, it's Sailor MB here, and welcome to part 1 of 3 of my commented Magicka Templar gameplay videos. In this video, and in this video series, you will be seeing 100% no CP, 100% outnumbered fights on my Magicka Templar, the LagPlar. This build is currently under construction in its 3rd revision, but the sets you'll primarily see in this video are 5-piece Pariah, 5-piece Transmutation, and whatever Monster's Helm happens to take my fancy that day. So we'll dive straight into it and I'll give you some commented gameplay and tips. We find ourselves in a pretty classic Australian primetime situation here. A late night scroll run with very few people on the scroll, which gives us great opportunity. So we take down the squishiest target first. And now that it's down to 1v2, we want to concentrate on the scroll carrier so they don't peace out. So we drop a Purify, we drop a Reflective to give them a snare. We try to gap close, but the very slight incline of that hill means the scroll carrier just bails away at 100 miles an hour, so we unfortunately have to let them go. So we've just got it down to a 1v1 now here. While this person's Eye of the Stormwind, we're just going to keep our defensive buffs up, and we're going to assume they're going to fall into the classic Eye of the Storm trap, and go completely offensive and lose their defensive buffs, and it's exactly what they've done here. We pop our combo right as their Eye of the Storm expires, and they're stuck down here on 10% health. So it's just a few little quick execution rotations, and we've dropped them down. This is where you'll find most of your small scale in Cyrodiil, at a resource. This flag is basically 100% DC, so we're not going to fight on it, otherwise we'll just completely eat the guards. And we're going to take out this guard up here when it spawns, and it's very important to do that, especially in outnumbered situations, because these guards will stun, they will negate, they will do all the worst things, and they always occur at the worst possible times to kill you. So take out that guard, make it a little safer. We've got our first customer coming up now. We're going to drop a Purifying, a Reflective for the extra crit chance. We're going to drop the Meteor, we're going to top lane charge, it stuns both of them, and it gets the kill off on the one that had the Purifying on him. So we switch back to defensive, we refresh our buffs, we get ourselves to 100%. We'll see what damage we can do to this guy before the 3rd player joins us. So we've got our Major Sorcery, Purifying, Reflective Light, but the 3rd player has come up on us now, so we're just going to switch back to a little bit of defense for a bit, and we're just gonna keep poking them and see who the weaker player is. We're probably going to switch to the Magicka here because they have proactive defenses only, pretty much. When they're fighting you outnumbered, they tend to drop them, which makes them easy targets like you saw there. They went with 0 shields up, and so it was a very easy kill for us. And then 3rd player has gone and done the classic Cyrodiil move, which happens unfortunately quite often, and that is hiding behind the NPCs instead of fighting with their friends. So we just jumped out there, baited them out a bit. We are in a bit of a risky situation here, because we've also got the NPCs inside, and they can be quite dangerous for the reasons that we discussed before, but we're going to take this risk and see if we can 1v1 this guy with some NPCs around. So we're going to drop down our Purifying, drop down our Reflective, Meteor, top lane charge, sweeps, and go into the... Oh, and we got stunned by the guard, but we still managed to get that execute off like a fraction of a second before that guard negated us, so very close kill there. This one, the flag's not flipped yet, so we're going to fight on it. We got Purifying, we got Meteor, we got the stun on both of them, which gives us 1 second to just switch back and do some damage, and we're going to do Purifying, Reflective, bit of sweeps, bit of Radiant Destruction to finish that one off there. And so now we've got it down to a 1v1 very quickly. We're going to rebuff ourselves with Ritual and Rune Focus. We're going to do a stun there at the start of our offensive rotation. That just helps the transition between defensive and offensive and puts them on the back foot. And then we're going to go through with our normal rotation there. Purifying, Reflective, top lane charge, sweeps. And just as we finish that guy off, we have our 3rd EP customer rock up. Looking at our nameplate there, this guy is a former Emp and have 2 stars, so by all accounts they should be a pretty decent PvPer. So we're going to make sure as soon as we see that Haunting Curse buff on us, we're going to bar swap and Purifying, but we're just keeping the pressure up with that Purifying and sweeps combo, and they never even get a chance to hit us with it. If you're a user of my LagPlar build, then this right here is going to be a very common occurrence to you. We pop our Reflective Light, and it splits into 3 when we can only see one person. What the hell's going on here? So we bail behind this tree until we figure out what's up, and basically we just rode too fast on our level 60 mount, and the players had not rendered in for us yet. So now that we know what's going on, we're going to target that mag shorts and drop them down. Generally the weaker target, and the sorter board generally the stronger target, so we're going to leave him to the end with a Purify and Reflective, Toppling Charge, Sweeps and Execute combo. This one here is the most common situation I find myself in Cyrodiil. I am absolutely nowhere near the group that I'm meant to be PvPing with. I'm riding into a DC keep that is under siege by EP. It looks like they just wiped though. So we're just gonna pop a few misforms and get inside here and see if we can draw anyone's up top away from the NPCs. So we're gonna take the break free on that one. Gives us a free CC immunity there, so definitely take that break free when it appears. And this player is just casting Northern Storm way too early, so we're going to assume they're gonna fall into the same Eye of the Flame trap with this one, and we're going to time our burst to go right as their ultimate ends, and we can just nuke someone straight away because they've gone full offensive instead of staying defense. So now we got it down to a 1v1. We're going to Purify and Reflective Light, Toppling Charge. You're going to put some sweeps into them, and then we're going to execute with the highest damage ability in the game, Gravity. This one here, we have a 2v2 against the current Emperor, and there they are right there, doing their Eye of the Storm. So again, we're going to assume they're going to go full offensive and they're going to drop their buffs, and that's exactly what they've done. So me and my buddy Gray, we both released our full combos on them, and they just absolutely melt. That Meteor was in fact meant to hit the Emperor, but it was probably fortunate it hit their heal, because it meant at the exact time that the Emperor needed heals, the healer was CC'd, so that worked out quite well. Pro tip, if you ever happen to become a Magicka Emperor, all you have to do is spam sweeps on those NPCs, and you would not have died there at all. You would have been able to heal through anything. So this one here, we were riding past, we happened to see these people stealth, so we go and pop them out, but who knows what would have happened if we didn't see them? Would they have ganked us from our horse? Would we not got a fight at all? Who knows? But 4 come out of the woodwork pretty much straight away, so we're just going to make sure we got our buffs up. We're going to keep healing. We're just gonna. Gray got a nice Soul Assault kill off there while we were taking a bit of pressure from these guys. While you're under pressure, your job's just to stay alive. You don't want to leave your buddy by himself. But I see an opportunity here with a player on low health to take it, so I go in with the Reflective, Toppling Charge, Sweeps, and Execute. That's another one down. This guy here, we're going to time our combo right with when his Remembrance ends. He doesn't even get time to do a thing after that channel finished. Pro tip for fighting Nightblades, always pop down your Purifying Light. Even if you're doing it before the duration expires, the purpose of it is it will pop them out of stealth in 6 seconds like you saw there. Unfortunately, they were a little too far away though, so they got away from us. This clip here, little side note, probably don't watch this particular video for good group gameplay. We are very, very antisocial individuals, and we do not group comms for any of these fights you're seeing here. So we're just kind of going off instinct, kiting away from these DC. We kind of know that we're probably going in the same direction as each other, but even if we're not, we know the other person's going to be okay, because we're both decent solo players. So we have our first customer coming up the hill here, and I'm going to do my cheeky tactic of just absolutely nuking the first person that's there, and getting that quick kill off them. Firstly, to even the odds straight away, which Gray did with his ultimate as well. We suddenly went from a 2v4 to a 2v2 very, very quickly. And if we're versing even more opponents, it's a nice little psychological victory. Get that early kill, make them be a bit more careful. This fight here, for whatever reason, AD was sieging down the mile gate. So all these DC were just standing on this side of it, and AD were just standing on the other side of it doing nothing. So me and my buddy Papko, we sprinted around. We got these 2 very quick kills off before the DC basically even reacted. But now they've woken up, they've realised something's happening, so we're getting attacked a bit more now. So we're just going to drop our ritual, drop our rune focus, get our buffs up, get ourselves back to 100% HP. We couldn't get the execute on that guy that Papko was fighting, but this one ran straight towards us, so we'll finish them off real quick. And we have a Sandblade over there doing the classic Major Defile from range, so we're going to try and deal with him, but he cloaks off never to be seen again, so we switch back to this last player and just help Pap go with the ranged execute there. This fight here with me and my buddy Grey, we're fighting right near a DC spawn, which is going to be tricky for us. Grey's in a bit of trouble there, he's getting targeted quite a bit, so I'm just going to spam some heals on him. This isn't a healing build though, so you can see I'm completely running myself out of Magicka. So I run myself out of Magicka and then I help him with a bit of single target crowd control there, just to release the pressure on him, let him get his regen back, get him back into the game. And now that we're both in a pretty good position, we're going to start going offensive here. So Purifying Light, Reflective Light, Toppling Charge, it misses that, but they did dodge roll, so it's going to chew into their stam, which means when we do stun again, they're just completely dead lying on the ground there. So we get the kill off, we swap back to defenses, we re-drop our buffs. I gotta try and regen some Magicka. I still haven't properly recovered from all that healing I did, but we see another opportunity. Purifying, Reflective, Meteor, Toppling Charge, Sweeps, and Execute. And that's 2 down so far. All just jumping around this tree here next to Nickel. So the first person we killed has come back into the fight. They couldn't let us get away with that sort of nonsense. This person here popped a defensive ultimate, so it's unfortunate we couldn't get that kill off there with Grey's ultimate, but we're going to keep going. There's always more we can do. We're going to keep popping those Purifyings. They give, even if we do no damage into them, they give great healing for us. And every DC is running around with a healing circle, it's good news. And we've got another 2 DC rock up, and they immediately pop a defensive ultimate. It was already 2v4, and then they defensed ult straight away. So Grey's in a bit of trouble, so I'm going to help him with my own defensive ultimate, see if we can keep him alive. But as soon as my channel ends, he goes down. So I'm just going to try and kite away here, make myself as annoying as possible to kill. You don't want to give such outnumbering players an easy kill, so I'll just be a pain in the ass, jump around for a bit. I know I'm going down, but I'm not going to go down easy, that's for sure. And that wraps up the Cyrodiil edition of the Magicka Templar commented gameplay part 1 of our series. Keep an eye out for the Battlegrounds edition and the Imperial City edition. I hope you got some good tips from this, maybe. Regardless, I hope to see you guys playing some Magicka Templar in Cyrodiil, in Battlegrounds, in the IC, wherever. Have a good one out there, guys.